I'm responding to this question. Is there a construction rate sheet? I'm going to use this question to wrap up this series that I started in 2025 about construction measurements and rates, because some of the rates will be changed. So I want to wrap up this series and I'll start a new one. I'll introduce it. But I'd like to take this opportunity to bring to the fore what I have learned from this series. It is very obvious, as I said when I started out in this series in part one, that there are two industries operating, and there's a big gap in terms of how people measure or the price, what they really know about construction. I saw that there was a big gap based on my experience, and having done this series, it has even confirmed, solidified what I thought with the questions that came out of it. So I'm going to take this opportunity to read the foreword of the Incorporated Master Builders Association manual, what it is all about, because obviously this knowledge is lacking. So as I said, my intention is not to belittle anyone, embarrass anyone. I'll try my best to provide the information as I'm able, to the limit and capacity that I'm able, and I'm going to do that now. The daily rate will not change, so I will not do any more of the job work rates until the new manual is out. The 2025 edition would have had daily or hourly rate for different trades in the construction industry, and that would be for 2 years, from February 1, 2025 to January 31st, 2027. It also has the job work rates, that's the measured work, for February 1, 2025 to January 31, 2026. So that means those rates will expire at the end of January. That is why I'm not going to do any more rates until this is updated. So I'll read it forward, which is same as introduction. This manual includes the latest Joint Industry Council's JIC rates available at the time of printing. So this manual was 2025, along with a listing of suggested job works for a number of construction activities. These job work rates are provided only as a guide when negotiating rates. Several factors, such as the condition of work, which I always stress, scope of work, and geography, will have varying impacts on these rates. Therefore, it is suggested that these factors be considered when negotiating rates. Copies of the latest rates are available from the Office of the Incorporated Master Builders Association of Jamaica, and that's on Oxford Road. Also included is an example of a simplified form of agreement that may be used by owners and contractors / builders when a dwelling is to be constructed. We are talking mainly to domestic clients. It is advisable that some form of written contract be entered into, as projects at times do not always end amicably. End of forward. Now the content of the manual includes standard form of agreement, which I just spoke about, the Joint Industrial Council JIC Labor Management Agreement 2025 to 2027. That's the hourly rates of pay or daily rates. Disciplinary guidelines, subcontract or job work rates. Now the job work rates or subcontract rates, as I said, those will expire January 31, 2026. So a new section will be done. So for the section of this current manual, for the subcontract or job work rates, the items that are in this manual include excavation, steelwork, masonry, carpentry, joinery, painting, plumbing, scaffolding, tiling, welding, and electrical. I'm going to read the section that explains why this is necessary, or why the Incorporated Master Builders Association undertook this level of work. Over the years, the Incorporated Master Builders Association of Jamaica have been bombarded with requests for guidelines for subcontractors or job work rates. In an attempt to partially satisfy these requests, this manual included the following suggested rates as a guide for several subcontractors or job work activities. These rates are labor only, no material. The rates are listed in a number of skilled trade disciplines for construction work undertaken in Jamaica. They were compiled through collaboration with various members of the Master Builders Association, along with professional quantity surveyors, and would only be valid for the current JIC period included herein, meaning at the time that it was printed, the period that it covers. Again, these rates are suggested as only a guide, as factors such as special conditions and locations outside those stated will require adjustments. So again, the manual that I'm quoting from was printed for 2025, which includes daily and hourly rates for 2025 through to January 31st, 2027. Job work for the period February 1, 2025 to January 31st, 2026. Looking forward to give more rates. Thanks for watching.